Hello, Ben here. I'm sat here in my dining room working from home because I feel rubbish. I've got a massive cold that I'm bunged up with, which is really annoying to tell you the truth. But I thought I would sit here and record a kind of video diary because now Elk accepts embedded videos and we can do that kind of thing. So this is kind of a trial run. It's maybe not the best thing. I'm supposed to be the technical lead of one of the largest open source e-learning projects in the world, and here I am with a cold in my dining room recording a video diary on a $35 Logitech camera. Hopefully this will underline the point to you that if I can do it, you can certainly do it. I maybe should have pre-scripted this, or at least thought in any way about what I was going to say, but never mind, we'll wing it, it's all fine. And next time, maybe you'll see me on a white background giving tutorial videos in a heavily stylized, well-produced kind of way. But obviously not this time. I was reading in TechCrunch. I'm addicted to TechCrunch. I shouldn't be addicted to TechCrunch, but I am. It's a weblog about Web 2 business and sort of centralized services like Google and YouTube and WordPress.com and Yahoo and all these people, and they're running a piece today about Google security glitches. They've dropped the ball, it would appear, many times in terms of their services like Blogger and Rightly and so on. And it would appear that in Rightly, which they bought a while back, you can access other people's documents. I think I have that right, which is a little bit scary. Presumably they covered that up, but the point is you could access other people's documents. And they've done other things in the past where you could post to other people's Blogger blogs, for example, using XML RPC. And they've even accidentally released a product or two, purely through lack of security on their end. And it just kind of underlined to me, I mean, while products like those are quite good if you're like an end consumer and you're just kind of writing a document and you happen to be on the move, they're perhaps not the best thing for use, for example, in education or in an enterprise environment. I do think there's a lot to be gained through web applications. You don't have to deploy software on individual workstations, and you have to worry much less about upgrades or different platforms. Certainly the Mac PC thing becomes a nonsense. But at the same time, I mean, you probably don't want to trust sensitive data like you have in education and like you have in enterprise systems with third-party services. For one thing, someone like Google, one of the largest software companies in the world now, can drop the ball in quite a spectacular way. And for another, I mean, in the Web 2 business, although they keep insisting we're not in a bubble, you don't know who's still going to be in business. You may trust all your data, you may record a whole bunch of lectures, for example, and stick them on YouTube, but someone might sue YouTube and they might go bankrupt and they might disappear tomorrow. I don't think that's going to happen with YouTube, but it might. You don't have the control. Whereas if you install an application on your own infrastructure, even if the company that makes it vanishes, it'll still be there. And similarly, because web applications are by and large not compiled, so you can see the source code and make modifications accordingly, you can close any security holes. This is really important. I mean, certainly in education you've got a duty of care, and I'm not sure you can have a duty of care, adhere to a duty of care if you're not making reasonable efforts to make sure that the data stored about your students is safe, and you can't do that if you don't know what happens to the data. So I really believe in distributed services that you install on your own infrastructure. And this isn't me talking just as part of ELG. It's not a commercial thing for me because, of course, we're not in the business of producing applications like word processors and so on that run over the web. We let other people do that, and just let people draw in their the material that they make wherever it may be it on centralized services or distributed services, into their e-portfolio, or whatever you want to call it. Their digital identity is how we prefer to think about it. I just think it makes sense. It's safer for you, it's better for your users, be they students or people in a business environment, and it means you can have full control. I mean, the other thing is you have, for example, people are talking about running classes on things like MySpace or Hives, and these sites are built for advertising. That's how people make their money. That's how their services exist. And again, I'm not sure it adheres to a duty of care to let your students' data be mined purely for advertising, so that advertising can be tailored around them. Or in the case of MySpace, I strongly suspect that the data, about the stuff that you fill in on your MySpace account, is used for market research purposes. So those were my thoughts regarding the TechCrunch article. And actually, I'm going to a seminar run by the Bazaar Project in Barcelona next week, which will address some of these issues. And it'll be very interesting to hear what comes out of that, and I'll certainly be blogging about it, and hopefully the other attendees will too. But for now, I'm going to go make myself some Lemsip, or probably do one better and make my own lemon and ginger drink. That's sounding pretty damn good right now. And I will speak to you another time, possibly with better lighting. Take care.